Hey there, boils and ghouls. It's your friend Taryn Tats, and I'm back with another video. And this one today is finally why I get to use the word tats in my channel title. Yeah, I had gone down, and it's been a long time. It's been a long time. When I started the channel, the idea was I was gonna kind of try to um, split my time between talking about movies, talking about tattoos and tattoo artistry, things like that. Kind of share experiences with that, and just a couple of things happened. Number one, the movie kind of aspect of my channel is kind of the thing that people seem to gravitate towards the most, and so I admit I kind of focused on that a bit more, but also too just when I first started the channel, it was like the economy isn't what it is now. I mean, it was a little rough, but it's a lot worse than it is now and than it was then. And so just, tattoos, just, like with the cost of everything going up, cost of groceries going up, cost of, gas, rent, everything, bills, everything going up and all that kind of stuff. And then also too, like I said, I admit that was my fault. It's like, I kind of just focused more on like I thought it would help build my channel better if I just focused more on, the horror, the terror part of the channel and less on the tattoo part of the channel. And for that, that suffered, that element of it suffered. And so, but I always loved tattoos, and I still do. And I love tattoo artistry and everything. And so yeah, but I was finally able to just say, you know what, it's time. I need to go and get some stuff done. I've been dying for some new tattoos, and I had ideas. I mean, I still got ideas. I got designs and stencils and things like that saved on my phone that I still would, you know. But at the same time, it's kind of good. I mean, it's like anybody would tell you, if you're gonna get into tattoos and stuff, the best thing to do is like if you get an idea for something that you really want, the best thing for you to do is to, kind of like get the idea, but let it stew a little bit. Let it percolate for a while and see if you really want to do it or if you don't want to do it. Because sometimes you'll get an idea, and most people will tell you the worst tattoos they ever got were the ones they just got spur of the moment, didn't think about it, just go do it and get it done and everything. And so they would just go get it, and next thing you know they're like, oh my god, I'm regretting it. And they spend the rest of their life, either they're stuck with it, or they go spend even more money and endure even more pain trying to get those tattoos removed or whatever. And look at how many people you see out there that got complete blackout tattoos, because some of them is like it would be cheaper and less painful to just do a blackout tattoo instead of going and getting it removed. So it's a good thing. So in a way, it was kind of good that I had that time. So I could sit there and think about it. I could put these, like it's like, ooh, that would be a good one to do. That would be a good one to do. But then it's like, and it has happened. I've put some on there. It's like, okay, now that I think about it, that's not a good idea. I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm glad I didn't do that one. But but yeah, I went down the other day, and I tried several places. The first place I went to was my old, my trusted, tried and true tattoo parlor. Um, it's called Empire Tattoo, and they used to be in one location. They moved to another location, and I drove out there, and the place was completely shut down. I don't know what was going on there. No, I'm not throwing shade at Empire Tattoo. I'm sure they're still amazing. Enrique is. I mean, if you see my tattoos, like the majority of these were all done by Enrique, and like the artistry on these are amazing. It's like he's still, in my mind, he's still one of the absolute A game tattoo artists you can possibly ask for. And man, I hope he is like thriving big time. With or without me, I hope he is thriving big time because he deserves it. Like his work, his artistry, his work is beyond reproach. You can't ask for a better tattoo artist. So I went there, and I couldn't get anything done. And here in Arizona, they got this place called Spark Project Tattoo, and so and I tried them and no luck. And I tried a couple of other places. Then I remembered I went to this place called Shades of Gray Tattoo, and they had done I went to them, like this one here, the witch tattoo. and I got one on my leg. It's like a spider with like a little skull face on it, on the body of it. And I got a Grim Reaper tattoo from them. I got those last Friday the 13th. So I figured I'd go check with them and see what's going on. So I went down there and I talked. It was the same artist who did these Friday the 13th tattoos, and I told him what I wanted, and so we set up an appointment and stuff. And originally, I got these two. It's about time. I mean, dear God, what is it, like 5 minutes in the video, and I haven't even showed them to you yet. But he ended up. We did these two here. This one here, the Billy the Puppet from Saw, and this one here, the Ghostbusters logo. These are the two newest ones I got. I've been wanting these for a long time. I figured, so I need to break down. That's the thing. Like, I need a Freddy Krueger. I mean, you look. I got Jason here. I got Michael Myers there. Hell, I've even got Silver Shamrock, and I even got the Thorn Cult logo and stuff like that. And look right there. I got Chucky. I got Tiffany. Sorry, I got a pimple. Sure, you really wanted to see that, but yeah, just and I really I need to get something with Freddy. I got an idea for um, uh, Chainsaw Massacre. I'm thinking at one point, try to see if I can think about maybe doing like the chainsaw bar from Chainsaw Massacre 3 that has the writing the Saw's family on. Wait till I get some more money to do that. But I figured in the meantime, like, this would work. I do. And I like the way that turned out. That's the problem. It's like, I think it looks a lot better in real life than what it looks like on camera. But then, we got the Ghostbusters logo. I knew I was going to get that one at some point. But he did a really good job, and they turned out really well. And so we worked out a deal. And he said, $250 for both. And one thing I love, and I credit this artist for this, one thing I love is when you can catch a tattoo artist on a good day. So, I put down $60 deposit, and then, we set up the appointment, and I went down there. He did the work and everything else, and he was a good sport about it, and he was like, the designs on here, they're fairly simple. They're not anything like difficult or anything. It's like, and he told me, I was like, besides also too, yeah, it was just fun to do something like this. It's like, and I've heard this from other tattoo artists in the past, that they've said that, like, they don't get the chance to do a design that's fun very often. They say, like, usually, like, when it comes to tattoos, it's like, usually this is what they tell me. Okay. This isn't me speaking, this is me putting words in their mouth. This is what they tell me. But they tell me, they say, yeah, usually, like, a lot of times when it comes to tattoos, like, usually men and women usually have these certain things that they always want. And it's like, usually with men, it's always kind of like kind of like the tribal tattoos. That's kind of real big with them. And, something that could be like kind of gangster, and stuff like that, skulls and all that kind of stuff, and everything else. So, that's kind of big for men, and this is what they tell me. And then when it comes to women, usually it's usually always like flowers and butterflies. That they tell me, like, that's the thing that they always usually want. And so it's very rare that, that they get to deviate from that. A lot of times it's always the same thing. And so, every once in a great while, like, somebody will come in and want something like a superhero or something like that, something a little outside the box or whatever, and they don't get to, do as much as they want. So anyway, we did, long story short, too late, like Clue, long story short, too late. But anyway, so yeah, I went and we did the tattoo, the guy did the work, and as far as I'm concerned, he did a really good job. As you can see, they're still healing. I got these last Friday. It's Wednesday now, so yeah, they're still healing. So it's gonna take a little bit of time, but so anyway, so he did the work and everything else, and he was all like, I know I said $250, but like I said, but you know what? Really didn't take much time to do these. The designs were, simple, and it was just something fun to do. How about we go 180? Okay. So I can definitely go that route. Start a, first he quoted me 250, and then it's like, okay, $70 off. I can live with that. So works for me. So that, I still had a little bit of extra money, and so I asked him. I said, I had another idea for one that I'd like to get on my chest, which I did get. I'm sorry, I'm not going to show you. Two reasons. Number one, I don't think you're really interested in seeing my chest. And number two, right now, because I only got it yesterday and it's healing, and just right now, it's like all it looks like is just a big black splotch on my chest because of the bandage and, the ink and everything else, coming out and all that stuff and healing. So, but, this is one that I had wanted for a long, long time. And, I got this one on my leg. It's the symbol from Rob Zombie's Lords of Salem. And I kind of always knew, like, at some point I was going to try to get, like, another Rob Zombie themed tattoo. And, and I had thought about it. At one point I was thinking about maybe getting something like right here. Sorry. Like maybe like right here, maybe something from like Rob Zombie's Halloween, which I may still do. I was thinking about maybe like the Michael Myers, the kid Michael Myers, like the mask that he wore, when he was a kid, the clown mask. Like that's a possibility. I'm still mulling that one over. So that way I kind of have a little something, from a lot of the different iterations of Halloween and stuff. So I'm still thinking about that one. Then also too, but I was thinking about, like, so I was thinking, what could I get from, like a Rob Zombie movie or something like that. And then, one day it hit me when I was watching House of a Thousand Corpses. The idea, like, I love that line that Bill Moseley says in the movie, when he's like, it's all true. The boogeyman's real and you found him. And then all I thought about that, I was like, that's kind of cool. It's crazy, but it's kind of cool. And so I thought about that one, let it stew for, and just over time, I just really started to want that one more and more and more. And I was just kind of like, okay, I can live with that, and everything. And finally, I just decided that's the other one I wanted to get. So I asked the artist, I said, okay, like, I had this idea for this one and everything, and I told him what I wanted and everything else, and I told him the quote from the movie and everything else, and he said, you know what? He's like, I got this idea. He's like, what would you think about doing kind of like a? He's like, I got this, these, like what kind of lettering did you want? And he's like, I've always had this idea for, I really wanted to do like kind of a, kind of like the old kind of old fashioned typewriter, that kind of janky kind of, look to it and everything else. He's like, would you be willing to do it with that? And he's like, for that'd be $120. I was like, you know what? I thought about it and I was like, okay, is the lettering really important and stuff? And I thought about, that might actually look pretty cool, So I said, and he's like, here, let me show you. So, he pulled up his tablet and he showed me. He's like, actually, I kind of like that, the way that looked, And that was a great part though about it. Like he was very like, he took his time. He wasn't like, he was all like, okay, make sure the grammar is correct, make sure everything is the way it should be and all this kind of stuff. And, I went through, I checked and everything. It's like, okay, yeah, everything's spelled right. And, everything's where it needs to be. And so I said, yeah, that'll do. And, it's like, honestly, let's go for it. And he said, okay, great. It was like $120. And so we made up another appointment. And that was the thing. I was like, I went and got these two. See, like I said, you could tell it's healing. But, I went and got those two last Friday. And then I went and got this one yesterday. So in a 4-day period. So altogether, yeah, it was about $300, but the fact that I got 3 tattoos out of it, so that's about $100 each. So that's not a bad deal. I mean, considering like this probably would have been another $150, $200 or whatever else. So, like I said, when you think about it, it's like $300 for 3 tattoos. That's $100 each. So I really did. I lucked out, and luckily he is a good tattoo artist, and he did a really good job, and I'm happy with the way they turned out. Like I said, they look a lot better in real life than they probably show up on camera, but I am happy with it. And it's nice to finally be able to do something, kind of get back into that and everything else, and I was missing it. And don't get me wrong, the movies and stuff like that, that's all nice and everything else, but it really is nice to finally get back into it, and I missed it, and I love tattoos, and I never thought I would, to be honest with you, but yeah, I started getting into them, and it was like my friend James at Body Bag said, you got bit by the ink bug, and I did. I did. I ain't gonna lie. And it's like I got other ones I still want to do, and hopefully get to work on those at some point. But for right now, it's kind of like money is a little tight, so I gotta start. Gotta make sure the bills and the rent and groceries and everything else get paid. But it's just so nice to finally get some new ink and to be able to. Sorry, I know it's like, but yeah. But overall, and just kind of like I love the theme that I'm going with, and even other people have come up saying they love the themes that I'm working with here, and Halloween and all that kind of stuff, kind of the lighter and the darker side of it and everything else. So, and overall, like it's nice, and it's really nice to finally be able to do a tattoo video again. I hadn't done one in so long, but so yeah, so that's it. My tattoo adventure from the last several days. So anyway, so that's it. I think I've gone on long enough, but I do. I think you can tell I'm really happy. I'm happy with the way things turned out and everything else. So and it's nice. It's nice to be back in the game again, and I am. I'm hoping that things will kind of even out to where I'll be able to get more done in the future. Like I said, I got ideas for other ones I want to get and everything. So that's it. So until next time, everybody, take care. Have a good night, and I'll see you all later. Bye.